Hi, I'm Joshua Alexander, mental health freedom fighter, and I want to talk about something that's very important for mental health, and that's glucose, what the medical community information calls critical clean carbohydrates. And it's critical to get healthy sources of glucose when we're struggling with any type of symptom, health symptom, but also with mental illness symptoms, because the nervous system is under strain. It's toxic. It's being subjected to viral neurotoxins and toxic heavy metals and chemical exposure and all sorts of different things. And our nervous system, when it's under strain like that and weakened, it needs a lot of healthy glucose, ample amounts of healthy glucose. Every nerve cell runs on glucose. Every brain cell runs on glucose. Every cell in the human body runs on glucose as its fuel source. And it needs healthy glucose to stay strong. So I'm not talking about table sugar. I'm not talking about GMO corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup. I'm not talking about, candy. I'm talking about fruits, all edible fruits, papayas, mangoes, bananas, grapes, apples, pears, plums, nectarines, dates, all the delicious figs, just all the delicious fruits that we get to enjoy as we're healing. It's a wonderful thing. And then, other starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, winter squash, raw honey is medicinal. There's healthy source of glucose packed with thousands of phytochemical compounds and nutrients that the bees collected for us. So it's a medicinal food, but we need like ample amounts of healthy glucose. And people, we've been trained by the trends and the propaganda like that sugar's bad, right? Yeah, of course, corn syrup's bad, but um, sugar is not a problem when it's not mixed with fat. So the problem comes in where people are eating sugar combined with fat. So everything people's eating is sugar combined with fat. Uh, Ice cream, sugar and fat, right? Um, Pork and rice, sugar and fat. Um, a sandwich with you got the bread and you got the meat or whatever, sugar and fat. People are always combining sugar and fat in everything they're eating. And the problem is that's when it creates an issue because of insulin resistance. The fat blocks the sugar from getting to the cells. But if you're just eating healthy sources of glucose without any fat in your system, right, then there's no problem. I eat healthy glucose all day, and I don't have fat in my diet, so I don't have any issues. I don't have blood sugar issues. I don't have insulin resistance, and like I eat steamed potatoes. I'm not dumping sour cream and ranch dressing and melted cheese and God knows what else people put on things. I'm just eating steamed potatoes with maybe some spices or some vegetables, um, and our lemon juice and honey or whatever. And there's no fat, so the that healthy glucose is going right into my cells. And the nutrients that are bound to glucose is how they actually get into the cell. So when we're eating healthy sources of glucose and any nutrients we're getting in our food from the fruits and the vegetables, or even if we're taking a supplement, that those nutrients can then, because there's sugar in your bloodstream, can actually enter into the cells. And it's very important for healing. We want to be getting the benefits of all the nutrients that we're eating. And we want to be also like running on glucose as our energy source because people are running around on adrenaline all day. People at my work, they're drinking coffee all day, every day. Every morning, people walk in with their coffee, which is just forcing the body to excrete adrenaline. So because they're not getting their energy from that healthy fuel source of glucose, they're forcing their body to excrete adrenaline to draw energy out of the deep reserves of our body, right? The storage, the nutrient storage, the deep storage in our body of reserves. And that's not great because there's going to be challenges in life. There's going to be things that come up where we need our adrenaline and we need like that those resources, those deep reserves. And so it's not good to be just running on adrenaline all day. And people, when we eat fat, it causes our body to excrete adrenaline as well, which is why people feel energy from eating fat because or protein. It's because it's forcing the body to excrete adrenaline to thin the blood. And people are again running on adrenaline all day. And then they also drink coffee and eat chocolate because they're tired from being bogged down from all the fat. So they actually need that extra adrenaline to keep going. But it's, when we're getting our energy from glucose as our fuel source, healthy sources of glucose, then we don't have to do that. We don't have to be running on adrenaline all day. We can eat every few hours. We can eat some glucose with some trace minerals, right? Because you want to balance it with those trace minerals. The trace minerals are also critical for our nervous system, for the neurotransmitter chemicals, giving us that feeling of being grounded, which is important for mental health, that stability. So, the celery juice is loaded with trace minerals, leafy greens. We get trace minerals from fruits and vegetables. So, it's just so important to give the body what it needs when we're under challenges, we're under stress, we're dealing with mental health struggles, any type of mental illness symptoms. Um, the body is fighting for us. The body wants to heal, but when we help it, when we give the body what it needs, then we're actually supporting the body as it's fighting for us, and we're doing good. So just something important to remember. I know there's been a war on uh, sugar. People associate sugar with being bad. Um, that's, funded trends by people who don't know what causes the symptoms and don't really know how the body works. Science always knew since I was a kid that the brain runs on glucose. It's just kind of well known, well, basic accepted knowledge that the brain runs on glucose. Your blood sugar gets too low, you go into a diabetic coma. Doctors check for blood sugar to make sure that we're still able to stay alive. It was just like known. It was like just accepted basic science. And somewhere along the way, the alternative trends, people started like pushing their programs, their diet programs, and funding all this anti. It started with anti-fruit, the fruit movement, which thankfully the medical information has um, freed us from, so that we can actually eat fruit again without being shamed and ridiculed. But which fruit is like the longevity food. It's loaded with antioxidants, which keeps us around here longer. Healthy sources of sugar combined with nutrients, the antioxidant phytochemical compounds that we need to be healthy. So anyway, trying to drill this point across that part of the healing process of healing mental illness symptoms is getting ample amounts of healthy sources of glucose as well as trace minerals. So we just have to understand how the body works, what's causing the symptoms, and then we can work at addressing and healing over time. And it does take time, and but every day and every month and every year, we get healthier and healthier, stronger and stronger as we're giving our body what it needs. It can then repair that damage to our nervous system, and and it can heal over time, and we could have mental stability, and we could feel better and climb out of the illness, out of the woods of the illness. So I wish you the best. God bless you. Happy healing.